The left hook has ended more fights at the highest level than almost any other punch in boxing. It comes from the angle that is hardest to see, lands with the full rotation of the body behind it, and when it lands clean, fights are over. Today we are breaking down exactly what makes a great left hook and the fighters who have used it better than anyone else. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Fight Archive. What makes the left hook special? Before we get into the fighters, it is worth understanding why the left hook is so uniquely dangerous. It travels on a horizontal plane from the outside of your opponent's vision, while a straight punch comes directly down the line of sight and can be seen and reacted to relatively early. The hook arrives from the side, from a blind spot. By the time your opponent's brain has processed that the punch is coming, it has often already landed. And when it lands clean, with the full rotation of the hips and shoulders behind it, the rotational force it generates is devastating. It is also one of the most versatile punches in boxing. It can be thrown to the head or the body. It can be thrown as a lead or as a counter. It can be compact and short or wide and sweeping depending on the range. And it can be set up from almost any combination. The fighters we are about to break down understood all of this, and each of them used it in a completely different way. Joe Frazier, the pressure hook. If you want to understand what a left hook can do when it is built into the very foundation of a fighter's style, you start with Joe Frazier. Frazier did not just have a great left hook, he built his entire identity around it. Everything he did in the ring was designed to deliver that one punch. The constant forward pressure that forced opponents to the ropes. The head movement that made him hard to hit coming in. The relentless body work that brought hands down and created the opening. All of it was in service of one thing. Getting close enough to land that left hook to the head with everything he had behind it.
Champion Joe Frazier. A dynamite left hook and Bob Foster goes down again.
And when it landed, it was one of the most frightening punches in the history of heavyweight boxing. It was not just powerful, it was thrown with perfect timing at the end of a sequence that his opponents knew was coming but still could not stop. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest defensive fighters who ever lived, was dropped by that left hook in their first fight. That tells you everything you need to know about how dangerous it was. Ryan Garcia, the speed hook. Garcia has one of the fastest left hooks in boxing today. Not fast for a heavyweight, not fast for his weight class, fast by any standard. It arrives before opponents have processed that it is coming, which, at the elite level, is an extraordinary quality. Most fighters at the top of the sport have seen every punch 1,000 times and can react to almost anything. Garcia's hook still catches them. What makes it particularly dangerous is the way he uses it in two very specific situations, as a counter and as a power shot. On the counter, he will draw his opponent into throwing, slip, or roll slightly, and fire the hook as they are coming in. Meaning their own forward movement adds to the impact of the punch.
Same short right hook again. This is a good right. Oh, he's trying to left hook right at the back.
The timing on this is exceptional and has produced some of the most spectacular knockouts of his generation.
To be able to land something big.
Hey, Chris, nice left hand there from.
But it is the pure power shot that reminds you just how dangerous Garcia really is. When he loads up and throws that left hook with full intention behind it, the result is something that does not match what his frame suggests is possible. Fighters have gone down from it who had never been seriously hurt before. It is the kind of punch that ends conversations instantly, and it is thrown with the same speed that makes everything else he does so difficult to deal with. Speed and power in the same punch is a combination that very few fighters in the sport possess. Garcia is one of them. Nonito Donaire, the counter hook. Nonito Donaire built a Hall of Fame career on one of the most perfectly timed left hooks the sport has ever seen. And what made his so special was not power or speed alone. It was the timing. The almost inhuman ability to land it at exactly the right moment. Donaire's counter hook worked on a simple but devastatingly effective principle. He invited attacks. He positioned himself in a way that encouraged his opponent to throw, created the illusion of an opening, and then, the moment they committed, he fired the left hook directly into their chin as they were coming forward.
Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas.
The result was a punch that landed with both his power and their momentum combined. Gervonta Davis, the explosive hook. Gervonta Davis has one of the most compact and explosive left hooks in boxing. It is short, tight, and thrown with a snap that generates a disproportionate amount of power for how little space it travels through. This is partly technical. His hip rotation and weight transfer are exceptional, and partly just natural punching ability that very few fighters in the world possess. What makes it so difficult to deal with is the range at which he throws it. Most fighters feel safe at close range because big hooks need space to generate power. Davis does not need space. He can be chest to chest with his opponent and still produce a left hook that takes their legs.
Can Nunez recover? Big straight left. He's in big trouble. And this one is...
That ability to be dangerous at a range where most opponents feel comfortable is what makes him one of the most feared punchers in the sport today. Miguel Cotto, the body hook. Most fighters use the left hook as a headshot. Miguel Cotto used it as a surgical instrument, and his primary target was the body. Cotto had one of the finest left hooks to the body in the history of boxing, specifically to the liver, which sits just below the right rib cage, and is one of the most vulnerable and painful targets in the sport. A clean shot to the liver produces a pain that is almost impossible to fight through.
First round and the second round, it keeps punishing Rocky.
An immediate, overwhelming sensation that takes the legs out from under even the toughest fighters. What made Cotto's body hook so effective was the way he set it up. He was patient and methodical, working behind his jab, throwing combinations to the head to bring his opponent's guard up, and then driving the left hook to the body the moment the opening appeared. He threw it with perfect technique, low, tight, with full rotation behind it, and he threw it constantly, building cumulative damage across rounds that eventually became impossible to absorb.
Been in the ring before, but right now he's just being outclassed. He hits the left hand.
This fight's not going to last too much longer because Cotto is a technically sound guy.
Roy Jones Jr., the athletic hook. Roy Jones Jr. did things in boxing that had no right to work, and his left hook was the perfect example of that. Most coaches will tell you that a good hook requires proper setup, correct positioning, and full rotation from a stable base. Jones threw his from angles and positions that broke every one of those rules, and it still landed with devastating effect. He threw it while moving laterally. He threw it from his back foot. He threw it in combination with punches that came from directions that made no technical sense, and time after time, it landed clean. What made this possible was his athleticism. Jones had reflexes, speed, and coordination that were genuinely freakish, qualities that allowed him to generate power and land accurately from positions that would make any other fighter completely ineffective. He operated outside the rulebook because his physical gifts allowed him to rewrite it.
Shots back at Tony. Oh! Big left hook, and down goes Tony!
What you can learn from Jones is that the left hook does not always have to be thrown from a textbook position to be effective. Angles, timing, and surprise can compensate for unconventional mechanics, if you have the athletic ability and the ring IQ to pull it off. Jones had both in abundance, and his left hook from impossible angles remains one of the most visually stunning things the sport has ever produced. Felix Trinidad, the devastating power hook. We end with the left hook that combined everything: power, timing, rotation, and danger to both head and body, into one of the most feared punches in the history of welterweight and middleweight boxing. Felix Trinidad's left hook was built on perfect mechanics. His hip rotation was exceptional. He transferred his entire body weight into every hook he threw, which is what gave it such extraordinary stopping power. It was not just arm strength, it was the entire kinetic chain from his feet through his hips and shoulders, delivered at precisely the right moment with precisely the right timing. And unlike some power punchers who are dangerous primarily to the head, Trinidad's hook was equally devastating to the body. He used it upstairs to stun and finish, and he used it downstairs to break down opponents across rounds. The same patient, methodical body attack that we saw from Cotto, delivered with even more raw power behind it.
And he's been getting hit with punches all night long, but hasn't been seriously hurt except for that one knockdown. And that was from
That combination of technical perfection and finishing ferocity is what puts his left hook among the very best the sport has ever seen. 7 fighters, 7 completely different versions of the same punch. Frazier used it as an inevitability. Garcia uses it with electric speed. Donaire used it as a chess move. Davis uses it with explosive compactness. Cotto used it to destroy the body. Jones used it from impossible angles. And Trinidad used it with a technical ferocity that took something from every opponent it touched. Study each of these fighters. Watch how they set it up, when they throw it, and what they do to make it land. Because somewhere in those 7 approaches is the version that fits your style, your attributes, and your game. Master the left hook, and you will always have a way to end a fight. If you learned something from this video, drop a comment below, hit the like button, and subscribe. And like always, stay dangerous.